Hi guys, welcome to our own channel. Let's learn crypto. Today we are going to understand Bitcoin, the first ever cryptocurrency. How does Bitcoin work? Important features of blockchain. How does Bitcoin mining work? Stay tuned.
What is Bitcoin? Why it is so important and what real life problem it is solving. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that is exchanged between two parties without involving intermediaries like banks or other financial institutions. As defined in a white paper released by the hidden inventor of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin is a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash that would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. For your reference, the white paper released by the hidden inventor of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, is enclosed in description section. Let's further drill down the technology behind this Bitcoin. Now the most important and interesting fact of Bitcoin: how does Bitcoin work? Bitcoin achieves elimination of intermediaries with the help of its underlying technology, blockchain. Blockchain is a decentralized distributed database or ledger that is secure and shared. Here data is stored in form of blocks and each block is linked to the previous and next blocks that make it a chain of blocks. The data stored on a blockchain is immutable. That means, once data is stored in a blockchain database, you cannot delete it. The blocks on a blockchain are linked using a reference of the previous block in hash form. So blockchain is a chain of immutable blocks. Each block in a blockchain contains some kind of transaction, a timestamp, a hash, and a hash of the previous block. Genesis block is the name of the first block of Bitcoin ever mined. The Genesis block forms the foundation of the Bitcoin trading system and is the prototype of all other blocks in the Bitcoin blockchain. Hashing is a process that takes input data and, regardless of the data size, it converts it into a fixed length of bytes and returns as the output. This output is known as a hash or hash value. The blockchain database is not stored on a centralized server, but it is stored on a network of computers that are known as nodes and are connected on a peer-to-peer network. A peer-to-peer P2P network allows two computers to communicate and send data back and forth directly without involving a server. That means, there is no single authority that has control over the data. Each node on a blockchain network downloads the latest copy of the blockchain. How the blockchain technology helps achieve elimination of intermediaries is by replacing trust that intermediaries bring to the table with cryptographic proof by the use of GPU computing power. This cryptographic trust is built into Bitcoin through a wallet, a public key, and a private key in the program. Anyone can create a Bitcoin wallet for free by downloading the Bitcoin program. Each wallet contains a public key and a private key. The public key is like an address or an account number via which any person can receive Bitcoins. A private key is like a digital signature via which a person can send Bitcoins. The name suggests that private keys should be only held and known by the owner, and public keys can be shared with anyone for receiving Bitcoins. Some of the important features of blockchain. Peer-to-peer network. A peer-to-peer P2P network allows two computers to communicate and send data back and forth directly without involving a server. Both computers open a port and implement the protocol of communication. A P2P network also provides reliability and availability. Each computer on a P2P network is called a node. Bitcoin Core blockchain is running on 80,000 plus nodes that makes blockchain secure. All of these nodes can communicate with one another via the P2P network. One other advantage of a P2P network is, if one node is down in the network, it does not affect blockchain operations as long as more than 51% of nodes are up and running. Distributed ledger. A blockchain is a distributed database or ledger. A blockchain runs on a network of computers called nodes. Each node on the blockchain stores a copy of the entire blockchain database. When a new node joins, it must first download all transactions of the current blockchain before it can participate as a working node. Once the entire blockchain is synced, the nodes talk to each other on a P2P network via distributed computing. Since the database is stored on a distributed network and stores transactions, it is also called a distributed ledger. Consensus mechanism. This mechanism is used to validate and approve new transactions. For example, if person A transfers some bitcoins to person B before this transaction can be approved and bitcoin can be transferred from person A to person B, the transaction must be validated and approved by the nodes. In the case of Bitcoin, it uses the proof of work POW consensus algorithm to validate a transaction. Some of the popular blockchain consensus algorithms are proof of work (POW), proof of stake (POS), delegated proof of stake (DPoS), proof of authority (POA). All the decentralized cryptocurrency are mined through set of hardware and software. Further, I have already made a series on live crypto mining covering every aspect of mining, from fundamental of mining to selection of crypto for mining to setting up hardware and software of mining, as well as fine-tuning the mining setup to increase the profit margin. You must see that live video series if you really want to understand mining. Now, how does Bitcoin mining work? In the Bitcoin ecosystem, there is a network of miners who use their GPUs to process transactions. Once a user who intends to send Bitcoin enters the public address, number of Bitcoins to be sent, and affixes the private key to generate signature, the encrypted information is then sent to the network of miners who are given the task to verify whether there is sufficient balance to transfer and authenticate the transaction. The faster the GPUs of the miner, the greater are the chances that they will verify and that miner gets rewarded in Bitcoins for facilitating the transfer. At varying intervals of time averaging to every 10 minutes, a new group of accepted transactions, called a block, is created, added to the blockchain, and quickly published to all nodes, without requiring central oversight. Here the miner's job is only to provide GPU power, which automatically runs the Bitcoin program to validate Bitcoin transfers. There is no manual intervention by the Bitcoin miner. Once the transaction is processed by a Bitcoin miner, this number of transactions is then broadcasted to the network of miners who get the copy or download of the same block. These blocks, through a timestamp mechanism, are stored in a sequential or chronological order, forming a blockchain. Each miner in the network is supposed to have the updated and complete copy of the ledger or the blockchain if they want to facilitate transfer and earn Bitcoins. The program is built in such a way that the ledger or the blockchain is automatically updated. As per the original white paper on Bitcoin, the probability of hackers tampering the blockchain is next to zero due to the copy of updated ledger each miner carries.
Coming learning series will be discuss major types of cryptocurrency, how cryptocurrency are being traded at exchange, different ways of storing cryptocurrency, and many more. I have started another series of video covering daily analysis of cryptocurrency, covering its global, local perspective along with crypto news and a relevant story or fact at the end. In short, crypto highlights is covered on daily basis so as to have incremental knowledge. It is suggested to check the playlist and learn this technology and amazing world of cryptocurrency daily together. I need your support and request all of you to encourage me by subscribing, liking, sharing this video to your friends and families. Also comment if you wish I should cover any topic in particular. Let's learn this fascinating world of cryptocurrency together.